Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I will be receiving on April 9th, 2026 using my Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. Here we are in my April 2026 monthly spread. As you can see, I already have a couple of April bills checked off. Those are being paid with my last paycheck in March. And we're going to be budgeting for the paycheck that I'm receiving on the 9th, which is going to cover all of the bills that you see in green. Now, I am filming this a bit early, so I have not completed my cash envelope breakdown. So for this budget with me, we're really going to be focusing on my paycheck budget tracker, starting as usual in the inflow section and talking about my full-time job, which is what I budget my inflow to be. And I've been budgeting $3,300 for 2026, which has been working out very well. When it comes to my bills or fixed expenses, we do have four for this pay period. I have Kindle Unlimited, which I'm budgeting at $20, Optimum, which I'm budgeting at $200, Netflix, which I'm budgeting at $20, and Verizon, which I'm budgeting at $170. Now, the Optimum and the Verizon, I'm over budgeting just a bit. My Optimum should be closer to $185, and my Verizon should be closer to, I think, 155, 160, but I'd rather over budget in bills and have them be lower than expected and have a little bit extra in my cushion. All of those bills added together do equal $410. And if I subtract that from the $3,300 we budgeted my income to be, we're left with $2,890, which is what I brought down to my variable expenses section. I only have three variable expenses right now. I have food, which is start off because I do not take this out in cash. I transfer this money to a variable expense checking account that I have, and I'm budgeting $300 for that. Gas is getting 50 and miscellaneous is getting 150. Now, if you watched my March budget recap, you'll know I went over my food budget in March, which is bananas. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. I'm hoping that it was a fluke. I'm going to see what my April ends up looking like when it comes to food spending, but I may have to fiddle with this number if I'm over budget again in April. Now, for gas, I was actually under budget in March, which was exciting because gas prices definitely started to creep up towards the end of the month. I'm hoping I'm not over budget in gas this April, but if I am, I might actually have to look at this gas budget as well. And I think what I probably end up doing is trying not to change the total number that I put into variable expenses very much, and instead trying to see if I could take some cash from miscellaneous and put it towards these other two categories. But for right now, we have food at 300, gas at 50, miscellaneous at 150, all of that equals 500. And if I subtract that from the 2890 we were left with after bills, we have 2390, which is what's going over to our sinking funds or savings goals section. Now, I'm very, very excited for this pay period because with this pay period, we are hitting goal on my final 2026 sinking fund, which is my car insurance and taxes. It's been getting for the last couple pay periods my full sinking fund snowball, but with this pay period, it only needs 158 to reach goals, so it's getting that amount. Normally, at this point, I would really just put the normal amounts into the rest of my sinking funds, which are rolling sinking funds, meaning they don't have a monetary goal. I put the same amount into them every single pay period, no matter what. But I decided that I wanted to take this time in the year as an opportunity to start regrowing some of my sinking funds that I've taken a lot of cash out of, or to change some of my sinking fund amounts that I feel like I can change. And so giving is getting its usual 50, home maintenance is getting its usual 100, but baby, I've now decided to push down to 20. A big part of this is because personally, I have no idea what's going to happen with this envelope. When I hit 30, I definitely felt the clock ticking. I felt like I wanted to have a kid. I felt like that was something that I was going to eventually want to experience and have be a part of my life. I knew I didn't want it at that time, but I was thinking more in my later 30s. Now that I'm in my later 30s, I don't really feel that pull anymore. I don't want to abandon this category altogether because you never know what the future has in store, but I'm not so concerned about saving for a future baby because I don't know that a future baby is ever going to exist. I think it's more likely that it's not going to exist, but I'm not abandoning the category altogether yet. We'll see how I feel over the next, I don't know, 6 months or so, maybe the rest of 2026. And so I decided to go down to 20. Travel, I took a ton out of in March to pay for a vacation. It's still got a few $1,000s in there, but I really want to bump that up as quick as I can. So I'm putting 350 towards that. Personal, instead of, I think personal's been getting 30. I have a good amount in that envelope right now. So I felt like I could go down to 20 for the time being. And then car maintenance, instead of having it at 65, I decided I wanted to put an even 100 towards it. And so I decided to do that this pay period. All of that added together does equal 798. So a couple dollars under the normal 800 that we usually put towards sinking funds. And if I subtract that from the 2390 we were left with after bills and variable expenses, we have $1,592. And that is all going to go towards my MacBook Pro to pay off that laptop as much as humanly possible, as quick as humanly possible. After this pay period, if I'm able to put that chunk towards it, I'm not going to have much to pay with my next pay period, which is very exciting. And because I did not do my cash envelope breakdown, that's it for this budget with me. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments about the way that I budget, how I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook, any of the other products that I use, please do not hesitate to put a comment down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.